Trinimac like was mad because like he tricked all of a bunch of the Aedra, like they were like, oh, help me make this world, and like the Daedra who were like demon lords, but they just like they tend towards more the chaotic side of things, while the Aedra tend towards the both chaotic and order based. But like he like tricked them somehow into being like, oh, create the mortal realm, and they basically killed themselves to create the mortal realm, but now they're all like infinite planes that manifest as planets to a human eye. And so that other guy, Trinirak, was mad at either Lorcan or Shore, or there's like 4 different versions of his name. So he tore out, he like tore him to pieces, and he tore out his heart, threw it into the sea, or I guess a volcano. And so he's dead. And oh yeah, apparently he tore him in 2 halves that turned into the moons. And that's just their decaying body, and that's why they look like they were hit by a bunch of meteorites. They're
decaying.
And then so the first
interesting. You thought that up?
No, this is from the game.
Oh.
Or like the first giant god was like, all right, I'm out of here. And these are all the order-based gods, and he tore a hole through space, going back to basically heaven, and that's what the sun is, and all the other stars and the lesser gods, like, also just being like, all right, I'm leaving, and creating holes in space, time, or whatever. So that god's like heart is just at the bottom of this volcano, and so the dwarves find it, and they somehow make tools that can bind it and try to create.
What game is this?
Morrowind, Elder Scrolls.
How you pronounce it?
Morrowind.
Morrowind.
But yeah, so the dwarves make tools to manipulate it. One's like a hammer, one's a blade, and then there's a gauntlet that you need to hold those weapons, because otherwise they will like drain your health and kill you. And so they were trying to gain power and like basically become gods, because a weird complex with the elves is that they think that they're directly descended from the gods, when the humans think they were created by the gods. So the elves think that since they're descended from the gods, that Lorcan, that guy whose heart is down there, tricked them into losing their divinity, and now they're mortal, and they hate that. So they keep trying to find ways to make themselves immortal, which comes back in Skyrim, because like there's this basically elven Nazis that hate men who are trying to ban worship of this god, so he will fade out of existence, because no one believes in him, he doesn't exist
Is
anymore.
that the game that you got down there right now? This is the gameplay of that game?
I have like all of the games.
Okay.
Like 5 main games. But that's a stupid show, Young Sheldon.
You seen it? Or
it's
you
just the whole concept is stupid. And I saw the trailer. Yeah, so like in Skyrim, you find out like through like you find like a secret dossier from the Talmor, like saying that was their whole plan. Like basically, they declared war against the Empire, and they completely destroyed them. And the Empire was almost completely destroyed, so they had to sign a treaty where Talos worship was banned, which creates a civil war for the Nords or whatever, the Nordic region, basically Norse people. But their plan is, because Talos is the god form of that emperor I mentioned earlier, who unified all of Tamriel, and when he became a god, he somehow mantled that other god who's listed in the heart, and so now he's become basically the whole thing keeping the mortal realm together. So their plan is to erase that god from existence, and once they do that, then the mortal realm will be destroyed, and then they'll supposedly ascend to immortality and godhood, because mortality is no longer a concept without the mortal realm. Basically, they're just trying to obliterate everything.
Yeah.
And like
to
the Empire like recognizes this and knows that they're manipulating the civil war up there and all of these factors to try to basically set up a situation
get to annihilate each other.
What.
Yeah.
Because it's like even dying, like they want to be immortal, so they want to destroy the entire realm. And so a lot of the elves have a weird complex where they think they're like gods, basically. They're superior over everyone else. And the dwarves wanted to become gods by like ascending to a different plane of existence by using that heart, that guy, with the tools. So the chimer, I forget what they're called, some type of this chimer, show up to they're called drummer, the dwarves, and they're like, you can't use these tools. Our patron Daedra princes, Azor, I'm not gonna say the names. Just 3 like basically demon lords are like, they've commanded you not to use these tools on this heart, because it's like you're trying to achieve something that mortals should be able to achieve, some type of godhood. And he was friends with the dwarf leader, so at first they were like conversing, but he was like, all right, I won't do that. But he just betrays them and tries to use it anyway, so it leads to a huge war. And somehow in the course of that, the dwarves completely all fade from existence. Every single dwarf on the planet just disappears forever, except for like one, but then he's killed. And no one knows what happened there, but in the process, the guy, Nerevar, the basically dark elf Jesus, dies. And before he dies, he makes his advisors promise, don't use these tools on the heart and don't try to gain any divine power, because that's exactly what the dwarves did, and now they're all gone. And that's exactly what these gods are telling us, or Daedric princes are telling us not to do.
Mm.
Then he dies. Either he dies or they murder him by cutting off his face so he can be any race, stabbing him through the back so he can be any gender, cutting off his feet so he can walk any path, and cutting off his hands so he can have any profession. Which is like really disturbing if that's what actually happened. But I like to believe he just died. But his friends and advisors, one of them being his wife.
But you said cut off his face so he can be anywhere?
Any race.
Any race. Wow.
Race, like
an
elf or a human, or it's really disturbing concept. But so they betray him, and they're like, all right, I know we made an oath to these gods and to him to not use these tools to gain power, but instead we're gonna do it anyway. So they instantly make them, using the tools, they make all three of them like human gods, which anchors the other gods, and they're like, all right. So they turned all of the elves into dark elves.
So interesting. I can see myself playing, but I'm afraid I would get caught up in that whole thing. Is that whole game system is set up in first person, or you can change the?
You can change it to third person.
You can.
From henceforth onward, from that game, and Mormons the third one, Skyrim's like the fifth one.
And this is the whole things that you got is all on the PC. Yeah. It's on the laptop. You downloaded it, or you got the disc?
Quell and I bought the anthology edition where it has all 5 of the
disc
and the
disc. Okay. The reason why I'm asking is because I'm be upgrading the computer downstairs soon, and it's gonna be definitely video game.
So definitely all of them could be played off the disc there. The only one that there's Skyrim, and because Quell used the Skyrim disc first, he got the Skyrim with all of the DLCs, and it worked from Steam. It just kind of stupid, but so Steam has the Steam key and can only be used once. So Quell had to buy me a copy of Skyrim in order for me to play it, and not include the DLCs. But every other game does require Steam because they're before Steam's time. So you could just use the disc on any computer if you wanted to. Mm-hmm. But so they make themselves gods, so they decide we're going to turn all of these Chimer into dark elves by making their eyes red and their skin pale, dark. And then that doesn't sway them, and then they're like, all right, we'll be gods forever now. And the mortals make themselves gods. And they start off being mostly benevolent, but they become more and more kind of...
The mortals. So it's how many mortals were there?
There were 3 of them.
Oh, okay.
So
I thought
because the original
all the
Tribunal
mortals
was
were
out of Daedric princes. But then they were like, we're going to help out our people. But gradually over time, they become more and more kind of just detached from their people.
I thought something was weird. My fingers was turning blue.
At one point, they even fought off this basically a Satan-like character, the dark red. There's 2 different Daedric princes that are basically Satan. One that does the deals with people, where he's like, oh, I'll take your exact wording and make it so bad that you basically have misfortune coming out of it. And the other one's a Prince of Destruction, who's just this giant 4-armed red, basic devil demonic creature thing. But back when they were still benevolent, they fought him off, banished him from the realm. And then they come back to the mountain and go back to the heart so they could recharge their divinity, whatever. And then there was a 4th guy who also used the tools, who they thought they killed, because the guy told this guy, while we talk about what to do with these tools, just watch him. And they come back and he's already used the tools to make himself a god, and it's gone instantly gone insane from it. It's decided that he's all powerful and that everyone else, he should use these tools to drive off and make their race the most powerful race on the planet. So he's killed.
How he was able to kill him if he made himself a god?
I don't remember. They all made themselves gods at that point, I think. So they just used their channel power and like kill him. But then they come back to recharge the divinity, and he's there, fully recharged and regenerated, which implies he was never actually killed anyway because he was still a god.
Is that? Remember, I was watching that. Was it a YouTube clip of the hack where the dude was basically beating the game and was it that character?
Yeah, at the end where he's like,
you got to destroy the heart. You can say you had to destroy the heart
because he had to. Yeah, that's because he used constant command, so he cheated.
Mm-hmm.
But so because he regenerated over time, and he now has the heart, and he's like, so they can't recharge the divinity, so he basically like beats them all up. And it's like, you can't get to this heart, and he can't remove the divinity without destroying the heart and killing himself, basically.
Mm.
So he's like, alright, goodbye. And then he starts his evil plan, and since they can't recharge the divinity, they're getting gradually weaker and weaker while he's getting stronger. So that's why they couldn't just kill Typercept, the Emperor, and all of the Imperials, and they tried to invade Morrowind, so he made the deal. He's like, here, take this giant mecha robot that we just happen to have, and destroy the entire continent and forcibly make them under one empire, and you let us have slavery in our religion. It's kind of messed up. Like,
is he able to be killed without that hack?
Without
you
have to destroy the heart.
I mean, yeah, you have to get to the heart.
Yeah, because
I'm just thinking about that scene. Cause I replaying that scene in my head. It's like, how the hell
he
you?
Like shows up there. It's like, I'll let you fight first or whatever. It's like you're the challenger, so you get the first hit. So then you like fight him and like you seemingly kill him like pretty fairly easily. But then you go out and then he's now back and he has like 3,000 health, and every time you hit him, he instantly regenerates the health back to 3,000 every like 2 seconds. So if you somehow get yourself so you're
you hit me 3,000, yeah, or over,
he'll die. But since the game knows that's not possible, that's not an act. Anytime you hit him, he'll just heal from the wounds instantly. And you have the heart also is a character itself, and it has a higher health, and its health will keep recharging unless you use those tools to hit him. But if you have a high enough thing, basically cheating, you can hit the heart with one hit and then you win.
Just destroy it.
But so they lose their power, and so they just withdraw from their people, except for the one guy who didn't was just sitting there.
Yeah, I was gonna build one of those things, those boxes. That's the only way. I was thinking about it. Shouldn't even bother.
What to see?
The solar eclipse is about to happen.
Yeah.
Get it projected on the paper and look at it that way.
But yeah. So they get weaker, and so they 2 out of 3 of them withdraw from the entire world, and the other one just kind of wolves in the background. But he's just. That one, like, especially messed up. Like, he's the most morally, like, good of all of them because he cared the most about the people. Yet he also he caught, like, an asteroid that was about to crash down into the planet once, and he just decided, I'm going to levitate it up here and power it by your faith in me.
And so it'd be like a moon.
So, yeah.
So if you lose faith... If
you ever hate me or lose faith in me...
It's just going to drop.
It will drop and it will kill all of them. Which is really messed up.
Forcing them to,
basically threatening you.
Forcing them to love him.
Yeah, you better always love me, or it will fall and kill you, because it's powered by your love for me. And then after the game, when he fades away because he destroyed the heart, of course it falls back down. They try to power back up the people by just harnessing and murdering people and using souls to power it. Eventually, that breaks down and finally crashes down. And then when that happens, it causes the volcano to explode. Basically, the entire province is destroyed. So the entire game is basically useless. You're supposed to have been the protector of that realm, and then it gets destroyed within like the next 15 years. It's really this. It's just like, you thought you made a difference, and you kind of really didn't. You saved the rest of the world, but that place is just destroyed as a consequence. But so he's just sitting in the back. He's like and then like First, he set up the temple so if anyone claims to be the reincarnation of Nerevar, will kill you on sight. And at some point in the game, you have to declare publicly that you're
reincarnation.
That way, you can continue the prophecy because you have to declare that.
But you're gonna get killed.
Yeah, so he decides I'm gonna.
Not unless you declare it and run like hell.
Yeah, you have to basically fight them all off until you can finally get to him. And his logic was, if you were the true reincarnation, any attempt to kill you would have failed. Therefore, now that you've succeeded
See,
from
you
this
survived,
point, I
yeah.
can call it off as hit on you. And that's kind of risky, because you reach the point where you can't take that chance. If you kill me, you're dead, right? You're losing your divinity. If you kill me, Dagoth Earth wins. I don't know why even it's kind of messed up, because they've been prosecuting killing anyone who's claimed to be the reincarnation for the past few years, and they've succeeded in killing the reincarnation a couple of times because they didn't pass the test of surviving every attempt to kill. Stupid circle of logic. It's like, if you were the true reincarnation, you'd bypass every attempt for me to murder you. But so you avoid getting assassinated, and he calls it off, and he finally decides to help you. And it turns out he's been researching a plan to stop him, which involves taking 3 tools, going to the heart. It banks on the assumption that this guy is so like corrupt in his power that he won't be able to comprehend the idea that you'd be destroying the heart. He'd think that you would be trying to use the heart to either gain power for yourself or share the power for all.
They just don't. Just that whole idea of you
the whole
destroying
idea
it.
that you'd be destroying the heart.
Why would somebody do that? Yeah.
So, like, the whole conversation is just, like, assuming that you're here to try to gain more power, and he's like, ha, you think you can just kill me? I'm a god. It's literally impossible. And he's literally, like, taunting you, and after you kill him the first time, he comes back, and he's literally just, like, taunting you, like, I surrender, like, laughing. But then you start attacking the heart, and he freaks out. It's like, wait. And then he realizes that's the whole reason why you were doing this, is destroy the heart, and it's too late for him to stop you. If he stopped toying with you and killed you instantly, that wouldn't have been the issue. But he assumed this whole time you were trying to gain the power. But then you destroy the heart, and he just falls into the lava and dies because he's no longer a god. You just separate the heart from the world.
Yeah, his source of power.
And then it's like he realizes way too late. But the whole plan was banking on him not being able to realize that you were trying to.
You got all the infinite power, but no infinite wisdom. It's stupidness.
Yeah, because he thinks he's super intelligent, but he's not. He's just a mortal trying to be a god, which is the case for all of them. And and his whole plan was to spread and protect his race by. That's a weird Geico ripoff.
Yeah. You saw that too, right? That's exactly what was in my head. I was like, you see that little blue gecko for the networking.
But his plan is to spread his divine wisdom and power by basically infecting everyone with this weird, disgusting plague where a bunch of weird, tumorous growths go off of them, and they turn into these weird, like, hideous abomination creatures. Yeah, I'll see if I can get a picture of it. So it's fully disgusting. And his plan is to turn everyone into these weird, weird creatures, and then infect every one of his people with that. So they all become under him and have his divine essence.
The Crohn's disease, like.
And then basically, and then like take over and kill every other person that's not a dark elf, and then rule the entire planet under his wisdom, and everyone getting his divine belief. Let's see if here's one image.
I hope there's yeah, that's definitely like that Crohn's, but more.
Here's another one.
Really? Which one is it? The big dude with the
big dude.
look like a Cthulhu?
Yeah. This one's like, I don't even know. His face is just like gone.
That's not a mouth. That's just a hole.
It's just like a hole. I can't. And then there's one where there's like a tentacle coming out of his face.
So there's it's random. It's total randomness to each character.
I think he like kind of decides what effect it has on you, but
That's not talking.
Here's one I had to fight.
Okay.
Just.
What is that? He vomiting or?
I don't know. That's like a tusk coming out of his face.
Okay.
He's covered in weird legions. And then after you kill him, he curses you with disease. So now you have to find a cure. But they find then like in the next DLC, one of the gods goes crazy because they lost their divinity. Because like the David Cook said, mortal minds are designed to handle the pressures of divinity, and it was only going to be a matter of time before they went insane. which you kind of see because they're all starting to become more and more corrupt. But so this god used to be your wife in your past life, and she tricks you into thinking, oh, this other god has gone insane. He's sending these Dremmer robots to kill the land. So she tries to send you in there. You think that you gathered all the weapons to kill him, but it's a trap. You go there, it's just like a decayed corpse. She's already murdered him. And her plan is to murder him and to kill you. And then afterwards kill Vivek, the last god left. But when she kills you, she's gonna frame it that you died as a sacrifice to kill the other god, and that you graciously laid down your life in service of her, and then so that she's the only god left in the tribunal, and then everyone will worship her. The monotheistic god, and then she just becomes all powerful, so she can gain power from faith. A crazy plan. And she gave you the weapons needed to kill her, and the process of making you prepare to kill the guy is already dead. Really stupid. She gave you the tools to kill her, and then obviously you're forced to kill her.
He's about to give another speech.
That's the thing I was talking about, where he backtracks on the backtrack, where he's saying it like...
He said now he's being treated unfairly.
He's like backtracking on the backtrack of like, oh, the alt-rights are deplorables, but so are the alt-lefts. I don't think there's even such a thing.
No, there is no such thing. Here, put this back.
It's alt-left. The whole concept of alt-right is just a fancy word for nothing. But afterwards, like, then 2 out of the 3 gods are dead.
What's that paper?
Kind of decays away by the full part from 2014.
Tardy 1 time, tardy 2 times.
The funny thing about that game is you can like kill the god that gives you the tools. If you somehow buff yourself up to be super strong, you can kill him somehow. And then it will give you the second...
But why would you want to kill him?
I don't know. But it gives you the second option where you find like a unidentified dwarven object. And you have to... It doesn't give you any directions either. You just have to somehow tumble your way and figure out the secret second way of getting it. Where you get someone to engineer a like bootleg version of the gauntlet that you need, but it will like due to a glitch, it will permanently take down your health for like forever. You can never get your health back up. It's completely like almost cut in half.
And you never get it back up, you mean?
Yeah, no, it's like literally it's just dropped down.
It dropped there like that life.
You can never increase that health ever again.
Really?
Which I think is more fitting as that glitch because it's like punishing you like
yeah, punish you, yeah.
And then you could use that bootleg copy.
You're cursed.
Use the bootleg copies and the tools, and then destroy the heart yourself with those tools. But it takes a ridiculous amount of time. It doesn't direct you how to do it because you're not supposed to do that. They just put that in as a if you for some reason kill that god, then you
It's
just
found a glitch in it. It's a glitch.
Yeah, he was like, what is because the only thing I could think is they probably saw that someone actually tried to kill that god and they couldn't complete the main quest. So they're like, let's put this little secret side quest that we're not going to direct you through, but you can just stumble your entire way through. But there would be no one. How would you even be able to kill him? He's still a god at that point. So that part doesn't even make any sense. But
Medicare doesn't cover everything. And like all standardized Medicare supplement
I forgot that guy who's using the heart for the power, he's building another version of that giant mecha robot using the heart in the middle of it, which is that thing that fell apart when you destroyed the heart. His plan was to use that to conquer the Empire again.
So you get to choose any doctor who accepts Medicare.
But it's very weird that there's just a giant mecha in this world.
Yeah, then you throw a heart. But the heart's supposed to pump circulation. I mean,
it's a god's heart, so at least it's a power source. In the other one, they use a giant gem, but basically the whole story about it is confusing because there's multiple conflicting reports. But basically, there's this either one guy or 2 different people take out their heart and put it into the gem, their heart or their soul, whatever. in order to power the giant robot to be medium. And so now the guys either they merge into one person, or I feel like you're recording me, but I'm still they merge.
Why made you think I'm recording you?
Because you're facing the camera at me this entire time.
What?
Anyway, I noticed that earlier. I just didn't say anything. But
I noticed you looking at the phone in a certain way.
And there's like in the second game, which is one of those DOS games, where it's really like, oh, it's right, so it's amazing how it goes from the first game where it's just the lore is completely trash and they just cobble it together, and the second one where